What day is it?
I came here in a time machine that you invented. Now I need your help to get back.
Travel in time. This is such a weird job.
Party on, dudes!
Whatever it takes.
Hail to the king, baby.
Hasta la vista, baby.
I am your future.
With me if you want to live.
Look, there has to be another way.
There isn't.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. I'm, of course, your host tonight, Mega Mike, the Time Machine. Yes, the theme for tonight's episode is we're talking all about time. So that doesn't just include time travel movies, but anything that centers around the theme of time is up for fair games. So how this is going to work, I'm going to introduce the panel here. They're going to tell you a little bit about themselves, some of their time movie memories, just in general. And then we'll get into 5 rounds of movie recommendations that involve time. And there's so many time movies out there. Of course, we'll have an honorable mention bonus round to cover everything. So this is going to be a super fun stream for you all tonight. Let me go ahead and just bring up a banner here to kind of scroll across the screen. Just to remind everybody to go ahead and terminate that like and subscribe. If you love time movies, keep the panel having a good time through those super chats. Definitely number one way to support the channel there. Also, the other number one way, travel to those mega memberships for exclusive reviews and perks, or gift them to the community. That's always a nice thing to do. And thank you in advance for if you do that. And new Collectors Club merch available on the channel shop link, so feel free to visit that. But let's get this panel out here. Let's not waste any time tonight. Let's go ahead and bring out Huck Rogers. How we doing out there, Huck?
Ready to get time rocking and rolling, baby. Let's go. Huck Rogers.
Sweating a little bit out there, but it's okay.
You're
here.
Warm. It's a little warm in my house, but it's all good.
You were even here before being on time. You were the first one, so there we go.
It didn't slow you down. And fix my air conditioner, that would be what I would do right now.
Hey, you know what, Huck? I like that idea. That's a good thing you mentioned. If you could go back in time right now, what would you do? If anybody on the panel wants to mention that, I know totally putting people on the spot, but yeah, throw that out as just kind of a fun thing if you guys want to, as we bring you out. But go ahead, Huck, just, mention yourself to the channel, talk about any time movie memories. I know you're a big sci-fi fan, so you must have been watching time movies ever since you were a little Huck. Tell us a little bit.
Like the wee Huck. Look, it's like time movie, like science fiction's always been my favorite genre. Love it a lot. So time is in lots of things. I'm going to speak vaguely without dropping any sort of titles right now because I don't want to tip anything for tonight's show. But yeah, man, like whether it's time travel or just in space in general, so the time is in the future, or just, things that deal with the clock ticking, and stuff like that, it gets your blood pumping, and so I'm a super fan, and I have some good picks tonight that I cannot wait to drop. So let's go.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see them. Speaking of excited to see, always excited to see this person on the channel. We got Steve. How you doing, Steve, from Excelsior Movie Reviews? Tell us some of your time movie memories. And if you want to throw out, what would you do if you time travel? Go for that too.
I'm doing great. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. Sound great, Steve.
Okay, good. I think my phone was interfering with iPhone, but definitely, science fiction for sure. Like I said, there's a title I don't want to give away just yet, but definitely. Since I was like 8 years old, I've loved time travel kind of movies and TV shows, like the Tomorrow People when I was a kid. You remember the Tomorrow People, the British show? It was that kind of thing. They tried to remake it later, and it it wasn't all that great. But definitely really excited to be here and meet everybody here. I know Mike and Huck, so we're very excited. Let's get going.
Yeah, I know I needed you on the stream, Steve, when we saw your Collectors Club video with all those Star Wars toys. I'm like, you're sci-fi, perfect for a time movie stream. So thanks for joining today. Let's go ahead and bring out another person who is no stranger to the streams on this channel. Of course, let's bring out Tony. How we doing out there, Tony?
What's going on, Tony?
Glad to be here.
So, Tony, some time movie memories? Did you grow up with time travel?
Yeah, I love, just like Huck, I enjoyed the sci-fi shows and lots of time travel TV shows growing up. I guess one of my earliest memories is from Superman the movie when Lois Lane had a very bad ending, and Superman wasn't happy about it, so he turned time back. I do remember that and how exciting that was. But yeah, it's a good way to correct something from the past. If you've got the ability, I mean, to me, I don't know what I would want to change. If I could go in the past and change something, I don't know what that would be. I don't think it's very wise to mess with time. But it's
Ooh, there you go. That's a good cautionary tale
Very
right
wise.
there. You don't wanna
And nice
mess with
Superman
time.
reference too. Nice
Yeah.
Superman.
You're right,
that is seriously, that's one of my earliest memories of that from 1978.
Oh yeah.
See, now you're reminding me of movies I forgot to pull. Dang, I should have totally pulled that
So
one.
it
I
may
was
not,
thinking
Why
about
pull?
it may
that.
not be the entire theme of the movie. It could just be segments inside of the movie.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I
All
think
right.
that's the beauty of time. It doesn't have to be the whole thing. It can be a specific moment that really,
Yeah.
means something to that.
All right, and then let's go ahead and bring out a channel debut on this channel right here. And of course, you may say he's the raddest of them all. Let's go ahead and bring out Born to be Rad. How we doing out there, Garrett?
There he is.
What is going on, man? I came from a time machine, Mike, that you invented
Yeah.
back to 1989 to pick up these pair of solar shades from Pizza Hut. So I made sure to
Oh, we
come
gotta
back
see those.
in time for the
Look
stream
at
tonight
those.
with my solar shades intact to talk all things time travel. And I'm excited to be here, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, those are definitely the best shades I've ever seen. So good choice.
Those are great.
Like, those look so cool. Give
Ah,
you that 80s vibe right there.
oh, I love
Oh
it.
yeah.
And of course, another channel debut here. We got Plat X2. How we doing out there?
Hey, thanks so much, Mike, for having me.
Oh, of course. Thanks for joining in. What are some of your time movie memories out there?
Well, Huck and I have talked about this actually a little while ago. Both of us grew up Star Trek fans. So I have very good memories with my dad watching Star Trek as a kid, the original series on reruns, and then the Next Generation. And yeah, tons of time stuff in there. So yeah, I grew up on that. Love it.
Oh yeah. Nice.
Awesome. Let's go ahead and check into the chat here to see who is joining us today in the audience. Looks like we got a ton of people in here. Hopefully everybody's smashing that like button out there. Adrian joining us saying hello.
Hey, Adrian.
Spicy 4K Action is here. Let's see. We got the Freaky Tarantino Film Student. I think first time seeing you in the chat here. Yeah, welcome to the channel. Born to be Rad, of course, everywhere. Just traveling through time, being everywhere,
That is
covering
true.
everything. Hey everyone, let's get Rad in time. Tony's everywhere as well. We got Craig saying hello to everybody.
Hey, Craig.
Yeah, Hisham is saying, hello, everyone. Come with me if you want to live. This is 2023 AI. Take control in the world. Let's see. We got the master of all movies, Presswood DVD collector,
Thanks,
saying
Garrett.
hello to everyone. Nice. Let's see. Cinema Man is saying, Time Cop, love me some Jean-Claude Van Damme, the muscles from Brussels. I totally don't know if that accent worked, but we'll roll
Pretty
with
good.
it.
It works.
Go,
If you could go back in
808
time, Mike, would you try that again?
No, that was probably the best I was going to get at. I was actually pretty surprised with myself. 808 Physical Media saying what's up. We got Dimension Scott in the house. Oh, wow. What a great group here tonight, guys. This is such an awesome audience. Let's see. We got just everybody saying hello to each other. Wait, did anyone say anything about my pizza?
I bet it was
Good.
delicious.
Dude who loves movies. What's up, everyone? Don't forget to roundhouse
Okay.
kick that like button. Oh, thank you so much, dude. Appreciate that. All right, so let's go ahead and get started here with what you guys came for, our recommendations of time movies. So we're gonna have our first time movie recommendation up right now. And Huck, what do we got here?
Okay. Let me know if I'm delayed, by the way.
Yeah,
You look a little delayed, but that's okay. We can hear you.
Yeah.
You're just
This
time
is
traveling. We understand the multiverse.
Yeah.
We get it.
Actually, come back to me. I want to see if this catches up because
Yeah.
I have the power in my house also can go out, and I think it's about to do that. So
Well,
come back.
No worries. We'll definitely go back in time to you in a little bit. We got Steve here.
Oh.
What we got?
Well, my first recommendation. Hopefully, I'm not stealing Huck's pick here because I know he loves Star Trek, and so do I. But my first one is definitely Star Trek: First Contact.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like
Excellent.
they go back in time to stop the Borg, basically, and chaos ensues. It happens there. That I think that's just my favorite from the Next Generation cast. Definitely a lot of action in it. There's a lot of stuff happening. There's a lot of danger to this movie. Definitely different from a lot of Star Trek. So it's something that any sci-fi fan can really love. So yeah, First Contact.
Yeah, that's the first one out of the New Generation stuff, right?
Technically, yeah. Generations was with like Kirk and but it was like the first full one with the Next Generation cast. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't steal that from Huck, but there's another Star Trek there I almost picked. I wanted to do First Contact though.
So is that whole movie nothing but the time travel? I mean, a time travel story.
It's the springboard to the story. Like they have to time travel to deal with the story. Hey, I look and see it now.
I've never seen it, so I was kind of curious about that.
Oh, it's so good, Tony.
Yeah,
It's
I need
really
to check
good.
those out.
Yeah, if you like Star Wars, it's something that all definitely different from Star Trek. There's a lot of action and it's crazy. I love it.
Yeah, Frakes does a fantastic job directing. Jonathan Frakes plays number one.
Number one, yeah.
He's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Tony, have you not seen the Star Trek movies or only certain ones?
No, so the only Star Trek movies I've ever seen are just the reboots that they did, which I really enjoyed those. None of the original Star Trek. I have never seen any of the original Star Trek films.
Well,
you're in for a treat.
None of the TV shows either. I'm really bad.
Wow, Tony.
Wow, Tony. You're a Star Wars guy.
Definitely Star Wars,
Oh, yeah.
but yeah, I just never could get into Star Trek.
It's slow for some people, but I love it. It's just like
I've heard nothing but good things about it from Huck and everybody, but
Yeah.
I definitely need to at least check the movies out.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
movies, sure.
characters are so good. The characters is what sells those movies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to hear your thoughts, Tony, when you do watch them because they're all so different and everybody has their favorites. Like
Yeah.
I really like the first one, but that bores people to tears a lot of the time. Everybody likes the second one with the action and whatnot. So it'll be interesting to see what's your favorite.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tony, take it away. What recommendation do you got?
Okay, my first recommendation is Frequency.
Okay.
And I'm really terrible
yeah.
about talking. I'm terrible about talking about movies, so I got something just typed up here. So what happens on this one, without giving away too much of the film, but there's a rare atmospheric phenomenon allows a New York City firefighter to communicate with his son 30 years in the future via ham radio. And what happens during this is he thinks he's doing something good. He wants to save to warn his father about his death. But when he does that, it causes a rift and causes other things to happen. So when you mess with time travel, as we've discussed here, you kind of mess. If you mess with the time traveling and you mess with the timeline, it causes other things to happen. So this film really focuses on that. It's a really good story. To me, it's not really a sci-fi film. It's more of a drama, and just really good. I don't know. Have any of y'all seen this one?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm so glad you
I
picked that.
haven't even heard of that one, so
I've heard
I'm
of
glad
it,
you
yeah,
recommended it.
yeah. It's a good father and son story too, but it's a whole family type situation.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's really good.
Highly recommend it.
I'm glad you pulled that because it's not my collection, but it's one I wanted to pull. I'm out of
Yeah.
sync again. I'm from the future. Is my voice
A-
real time?
AI
My
Huck.
computer's not?
We can hear you fine.
Yeah, your
AI
voice
Huck.
sounds okay.
Is it hot
Yeah,
over there,
oh,
Huck? Is the computer like melting or something?
It is. It really is. I tell you, when you put the next guy on, Mike, I'm going to bounce out and come back in. See if that.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. All right, so speaking of the next guy, we got Born to Be Rad. What do you got?
What's up, guys? What we're gonna do is I'm gonna go pretty standard on this first one, just because I want to kind of do it before anybody else does. I'm gonna take a little different avenue though. So I talked about when we got on there, the Solar Shades from 1989. These bad boys. These were shades that were put out by Pizza Hut to get everybody psyched and hyped for Back to the Future 2 that came out in 1989. And I saw this in theaters in 1989. I was actually in Florida visiting my grandmother, and we went to Pizza Hut and we did grab these things. Then we went to the theater and checked this thing out. And being such a huge fan of the first one, I just fell in love with part 2 because it was just, going into the future and seeing what could be and all these different things like the, self-lacing Nikes and, the self-drying jackets and all the different holograms and flying cars and all that stuff. Like I just fell so in love with like that future. And unfortunately, 2015 didn't really look the way that they anticipated it. But I just think it's really cool because it's not only you're going back in time, but you're going back and forth into different timelines. And like Tony said, is like as soon as you mess with one timeline, it can cause a problem somewhere else. And I just really thought that was a cool avenue. And it was cool to watch because you had clips from the first one in there and it was just all over the map. So I think Back to the Future 2 obviously is not my favorite movie all time. Back to the Future is, but I think it's just a great sequel that involves time just really well. And I just really liked it. And I wanted to just throw a little curve and just talk about part 2, specifically because I had these things on too.
Yeah, I love the continuity that they did with all 3 films, keeping the same.
Right.
To me, it was very enjoyable. I loved it. I knew that someone was going to bring it Back to the Future, so I didn't even bring it.
Yeah.
Man,
I assumed that was going to get talked about. So I was like, let me just single out 2 and see if anybody brought it.
Yeah, I'm glad you chose part 2 though, because usually people go with the first one. But growing up, I like part 2 a lot more just because of everything you said, all the future stuff. I mean, the pizza that expands,
exactly.
So cool. I mean, who didn't want the hoverboard?
Oh yeah,
definitely.
Exactly.
The day we get a hoverboard, I tell you, that'll be amazing.
And even
it is crazy. It's
even
crazy to
the,
see how different it was. Is like because what was it, 2015, right? So you look at like what they thought 2015 was going to look like in '89 compared to how it is now, and it was just so bonkers, And I love time travel movie that's going to the future because it's just funny to see what they predict and how wild that would have been if that was kind of how things were,
Yeah, and also just being able to. If you do multiple time traveling, almost bumping into yourself in the future.
Exactly.
Yeah, and how dangerous that is. That's always fun. And that's very cool that you got those glasses from Pizza Hut. Are those original?
Those are the ones I got in Florida the day I saw the movie. Yeah.
That's cool.
Nice.
All right. Let's go to Plaid X. What do we got?
All right. So I'm not going to go to the future. We're going to go to the past in this one. And it is a Woody Allen film. And it's a romantic comedy. So it's not a sci-fi film. And it is Midnight in Paris.
Oh.
So if you've never seen this one, so Owen Wilson and Rachel McAdams, they're engaged. But there's they're having a lot of relationship issues. Owen Wilson is a romantic. And so every night he takes off and he goes to this club and he goes back to the 20s. He has no idea that's what's going to happen, but he goes back to the 20s. He meets all these like icons of literature and he's got this huge romantic heart. He meets someone there. And every night, because his relationship with his fiance struggles, he goes back to this club, goes back to the 20s every single night. And yeah, he has a romantic spot in his heart for that age and for that kind of people. And it's a really great film, really good romantic comedy, and a little time travel every night.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear a crazy story about that movie for me?
Oh yeah.
So probably like 2 months ago, I was gifted from a friend's father, like his DVD collection. He had a pretty decent collection and he was going to toss it. My friend messaged me and he said, "Hey, I have 5 totes of DVDs. Do you want them?" I'm like, "Yeah, bring them over." So he brought them over and I was going through them and there was one Blu-ray in there. And it was that movie. And I said to myself, I've never seen this thing. And I like kind of put it off to the side. And I'm like, I don't know if this is something I'm going to like or whatever. Never heard of it in my life. It was one Blu-ray in that whole collection. And that was the movie right there. Really? So now I'm going to want to watch it based on just what you said and your recommendation. I had zero idea what it was, but that was just so funny. When you pulled that up, I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
That's hilarious. It's really great. I don't have much Woody Allen in my collection. I have almost no romantic comedies in my collection. And I love this film. I've seen it multiple times. So good.
That's funny. Awesome.
Yeah, I've got that. I need to check it out.
Oh, it's so good. Must watch. And how's my video looking, everybody? Am I freezing up to you guys?
No, you're good.
Oh, okay.
I'm the problem.
All right, so going on to my choice here, I'm not going to talk about a movie that happens in the past. I'm not going to talk about a movie that happens in the future, but you can say this movie came just in time. Because it's in time. Look at this. We got Justin Timberlake in here, who actually gives a really good, solid performance. But I love the premise of this movie. Have you guys all seen this one?
Yes.
It's a must watch. They're basically using time as a currency. So nobody uses, regular money, dollars to spend. It's all time. Once you reach a certain age, I think it's like 25, your year starts. And that's how you trade with people. You trade with people with time. And when your clock runs out, you just poof, you just fall on the street and you're gone. So really interesting premise and just how it plays out. It's perfection. I don't do it justice describing it, but gotta watch this. If you love time movies, it's a must watch. It's a little bit different than your time travel kind of movie. Definitely a unique premise there, but I love this one. Who else said they saw it?
I have.
Yeah. Do you guys like it as well?
I liked it. Yeah. That was actually one I was almost going to pull, but then I put it back.
Yeah, very unique storyline. I love I love it when they do something that you've never seen before, and they did it really great.
Yeah. It's such a good movie for that reason, and I kind of wanted more too. It kind of ends where you're like, oh, I want a little bit more. I want to see how it plays out a little bit further, but it's still so good. All right. Yes, we got Huck back. Awesome.
All right, I'm going phone, y'all.
Bro, it actually looks really good though, Huck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The house is melting, but the phone's still on point. All right, now I'm ready.
Oh yeah, we still got to get the Huck. So Huck.
Now, first, Garrett, this is for you. Check out this newspaper that.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah.
On that.
Yeah. Do you remember when that? When that came out in 2015, I grabbed like 5 of them at my newsstand or whatever. So,
I got two. So
that's awesome that they did that, right?
Oh yeah, I love it. All right, y'all. So my first one up, let's see, I'm gonna just sort of tilt it down here, is a movie I just love. I love this actor because we were talking about a film of his earlier before we came on, and that's Christopher Reeve, and I'm going with Somewhere in Time. I just love this film. It's like one of the few films outside of Superman where Chris really just like owns this film. He's so great. It's one of Jane Seymour's very first film. They even fell in love on this film and dated briefly. If you don't know it, please check it out. He's basically a playwright, and there's this lady who comes to him, an older lady, and gives him a pocket watch and says, "Come back to me." And then she just sort of goes back to her room and then dies. And then a little time later, he's a playwright, right? So he's doing a play, and then he's in this facility and he sees her painting on the wall. And long story short, through certain things, he learns that through self-hypnosis, he can hypnotize himself back in time and be with her again. And so he's got to make sure everything around him is on point. So he's got to be dressed that way. He's got to be in a room that's set up that way so that when he sort of comes to from being hypnotized, he is there. And that's all. I'm going to leave it there because I don't want to give away anything that happens. It's a bittersweet love story, but look, if you want to show Chris Reeve some love outside of Superman, it's Somewhere in Time. Really good.
Yeah, I definitely have never seen that. Like when you say Christopher Reeves, I only know Superman movies, but now you gave me another recommendation to check out. So.
It's really nice.
I'm a sucker for the romance stories anyway, so I gotta see it. All right, let's go ahead and check into this audience. We got John Doe Gigolo joining us. Hello to Adrian. Let's see, everybody's saying hello to each other. Let's see, we got Cinema Man saying, yes, the Star Trek Kelvin timeline is my favorite. The good thing about Trek is its diversity and a lot of content. Yeah, I think the Kelvin timeline would probably be my favorite too, just because that's what I started with. So that's more so what I grew up with. But yeah, I still like the other Star Trek movies as well. Got my mom in the chat just saying hi to everyone. Let's see, we got Kelly Ann saying Frequency is so good. What a great movie. Yes. And Kelly Ann, is this my first time seeing you in the comments? Well, if so, welcome to the channel. Let's see. Yeah, see, Hisham, this is too complicated of a question for us to answer tonight. Is time travel really exist? Any of us time travelers here? And if not, we cannot answer this.
That's right. We can't tell you.
Dude is saying, dude, awesome sounds sunglasses. Are those the original ones you got that night? Yep, right?
Yeah, they are. Oh, yeah.
Cinnamon Man say, who's going to put Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 on their list? Got Tiana in the chat.
Hey, Tiana.
It's up to you.
Everybody saying hello to each other. Hisham saying, have you ever watched Doraemon, the story time travel series? Never heard of it. Let's see. Dude saying, I never knew that it was Midnight in Paris was about, but it actually sounds really good. Yeah. Oh, dude is saying, Huck, I love that Phantom poster. I'm a really huge Billy Zane.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I agree, man. When I saw that, I was like, I love that.
I did that. Yeah, that's one of the ones I found at the swap meet. I thought that once I got my new room, I wanted the first posters that went up was something I finally bought at the swap meet and get it. And the Phantom was one of them. So for a couple of bucks, I got that great. I love the purples in it and stuff.
Yeah, it's cool looking.
Yeah, that would look really great in Garrett's room right behind him.
I don't have a Phantom poster. I would love that.
I'm channeling Garrett tonight.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but Billy Zane's first acting appearance was in the Back to the Future franchise, right? As one of the five characters.
He was one of Biff's boys, right?
Yeah.
That's right. See, Huck knew what he was doing.
That's right. Full circle, baby.
All right, and then we're going to get into our second time movie recommendation. So second one. Huck, you're not frozen, so you're good to start.
All right. Well, I'm going to lean into it. Steve, you started us off. So now I'm coming up with some Star Trek, and that is Star Trek 4.
There you go.
Oh, baby. Like, come on. Captain, there'll be whales. Come on. They got their whales. This is one of the first ones that really brought comedy in. And it's sort of, it appealed to audiences outside of Star Trek, right? Because it had the comedy element. And it was their most successful one up until like Abrams and stuff like that. And it's just so full of charm just to watch Nimoy really have fun playing Spock and, doing the comedy bits. They got to go back in time to grab a humpback whale and bring it back. Talk to some probe that's trying to chat with whales. Go figure. Because whales are hysterically smart. And so that's the thing. So they grab two of them. And then get back to the future to save all mankind, like the Enterprise crew does.
Yep.
So, there you go. Star Trek 4, man. Such a good little time travel film. Fish out of water. Very good.
And who directed that one? Was that one of the main actors, right?
That was Nimoy. Yeah, Nimoy. He did 3, and then that did well because it was low budget. And then he said, all right, well, let's do number 4. And, of course, after that, Shatner's like, I want one. And then so good. But yeah, and this one did extremely well, and it gave Nimoy a really great career. He did like 3 Men and a Baby after all that stuff. So
that's right.
Yeah. I don't think we saw the space whales in the Kelvin timeline, right? They left those out. We need to see them again. They got to bring those back.
Yeah, I don't think George and Gracie appeared in.
That's right.
All right, Steve.
Yeah, so this one is really low budget. It's actually a time travel movie that doesn't really have a lot of time travel in it, but they talk about time travel the whole movie. The movie is Safety Not Guaranteed. You got Aubrey Plaza. It's Mark Duplass, really great in this. Jake Johnson. Yeah, it's like I said, it's directed by Colin Trevorrow, the guy that did the Jurassic World and did the Dominion. And he didn't do the Fallen Kingdom, the worst one of that, but of the new movies. But this whole movie kind of builds up to the ending to where it sort of delivers, there. But it's definitely low budget. But Mark Duplass, there's a scene where he plays this instrument. I can't remember the name of the instrument, but he nailed it in like one take. But this whole movie is just him talking about time travel and nobody believes him, and so he finally gets it together. I don't know if anybody's ever seen this before, but it's a low budget time travel movie though.
No, I've never heard of it.
Really? Okay.
You sold me on it though with Aubrey Plaza right there.
Yeah.
Like, gotta check it out.
Yep, I got it in my Amazon card already.
Oh yeah. There we go.
Yeah, of course you do.
Yeah. That's one good thing about doing these live streams. You get a lot of good recommendations.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're definitely short on movies over there, Tony. We gotta get
I need a couple
on that.
glad
more.
we can help.
He's gonna have a time travel like section now in this whole thing. Yeah,
Right?
whole shelf. Yeah.
So my next one is, I don't know that this one is a time travel movie per se, but what I love about this movie is the fact that in this movie, Run Lola Run, there's
So good.
3 different times that she has to do a task to save her boyfriend. Who have y'all seen this one before?
No.
Yes, I have.
Oh,
Very
man, this
good.
is amazing. I recommend this to everybody. But this right here shows the same plot 3 different ways, 3 different times based off of her racing in time to take her path to save her loved one. And the way that they do it is just amazing. I just recently saw this probably about 4 months ago for the first time, based off of somebody's recommendation. But excellent movie. I would highly recommend you check it out. Run Lola Run. And that's what
Yeah.
she does the whole movie. Same sequence, but she has to change it up because every time she fails, something bad happens. So she has to keep doing it until she gets it right, and she has 3 times to do it.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
very good. It's in that I just saw it recently too, in the Sony Picture Classics
Yes. mhm.
box set, so they got a 4K of that one. Yeah, I didn't know it was a foreign language film either, but German language, I believe. But very good movie. Very
Yep.
good. Yes, Born to Be Rad. What do we got?
All right, this one, it's weird. It's one of my favorites. It's not necessarily a time travel movie per se, but there is time travel involved, and that is 1986 Flight of the Navigator. This movie was something that I freaking fell in love with as a kid, and one of the biggest scenes in this that stuck with me and still sticks with me now is, if anybody hasn't seen it, he basically is a young kid and his name's David, and he's walking through the woods and he falls, and then all of a sudden he wakes up, goes home, and when he goes to his house, he realizes that like his parents don't live there. It's like an older family, and he's looking for his parents. They don't know where they are, and it's a pretty crazy scene. As a young kid seeing this in 1986, it really was disturbing and frightening to me, that one scene. And then come to find out he was actually abducted by aliens, and it's, I believe, maybe 20 years later, I think. And then he finally gets his parents, and his parents had thought he died 20 years ago. And they're all older now. And his little brother is now his older brother. And it's a real fun movie. It's cool. And I think Disney still owns it. I believe they may or may not. This is a second site release, so I'm not sure how they were able to get this. But if you guys haven't seen that movie, I highly recommend it. But I'm assuming most of us on the panel has probably seen it.
Yeah.
I've never seen it, so that's another
Neither.
recommendation.
Oh,
For me.
you're gonna love it, man, for sure.
Been a
You
long
said a Disney film though?
Like the DVD was a Disney DVD, and then this is a second sight Blu-ray. I don't know where it is. I mean, I think you can probably see it on Disney Plus, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know what? They might even have it in the Disney Movie Club.
They could
No?
actually.
Tony,
I
they
don't
don't
know.
have it in there?
No.
Oh, man, that's a shame. Ah.
Does anybody know where this? Like, what's the deal with this? And is Disney still owning it? Does anybody know?
Was it Vista or something? Let's see. Navigator.
Let's see what it says on. I'm gonna see what it even says on like the back. It doesn't say anything. Like, it just says Second Sight Films. I thought maybe it would have like another company or something. Maybe Tony's got something over there. I know the DVD I have is a Disney. I think the VHS was Disney.
Was it?
Yeah, it's part of Disney.
I'm a liar. I'm a liar.
You got it, Tony.
Oh, there you go.
So it is a
Disney
Disney
Movie
Movie Club
Club.
exclusive.
Yeah.
Yes. And it is still available.
Mm. Might have to
Oh,
pick
I
that
get.
one up
Yeah,
then.
definitely hop on that, Mike.
Yeah, it was
All
part
right.
of Buena Vista originally, and then now it's owned by Walt Disney Pictures.
Yeah.
All right, Plaid, what do we got?
All right. So since we are at the end of the Criterion sale, only a couple more days left, I thought I'd pull some Criterion. And this is a film by Celine Sciamma, and it is called Petite Maman. And it is new to the collection, and it is a French film. and it's all happening in real time, but the characters, it's a relationship between a mother and a daughter, and time goes from present to past to present, but you're still, it's hard to explain, you're still fully there in your timeline, but it continues to go back and forth. And it's kind of an exploration, like a kind of a subtle meditation on grief, on loss, on relationships, understanding the people in your family who you love and their history and kind of what made them who they are today. But the whole film, it just kind of like slowly goes back and forth. It's in real time, but it's going between time. So anyway, but I do recommend this one. Really cool, subtle meditation. And yeah, you're doing a little bit of time travel, but it's very, very subtle.
Yeah. I watched that last week also because I got it from the sale. I was trying to figure it out. I was trying to figure out, okay, how can this happen? You know, how can she be having a conversation with her mother?
Yeah.
But it was confusing at first, but it was very well done.
I was just about to ask. I'm like, is it a tough watch? And
No.
Tony, it's a little confusing though.
At first it is because I had no idea what it was about. I went into it blindly, so I was trying to figure out, okay, who is this person, and it all plays out to where you can understand what's going on.
Yeah, so if you know French, then the title does kind of a way give the film away, but you kind of learn what's happening as one of the main characters discovers what's happening, and everyone in the film is kind of learning it slowly throughout the film as well. Yeah. So it's very short. I think it's like 73 minutes. Yeah, 73 minutes. It's a very short film.
Yeah.
That's good. I'm tired of long runtime movies, so that makes it a little bit more of an easy watch. I'll take that.
Yeah, that time you can't get back.
True.
All right, so now on to my choice. And for my choices, I try to choose movies that would be, you know, ones that not many people recognize, get talked about a little bit less often, but I still think are pretty good. And so let's go with Project Almanac. If anybody's seen this treasure of a movie, it's a found footage movie. So I did bring it up on my found footage stream, but I like doing that with time travel, makes it feel a little bit more realistic. And basically, you know, the kid goes back in time and does what, you know, teenagers would do, right? Party it up and things like that. I think try to win the lotto, all that stuff a teenage mindset would think of if they could time travel. But it's a fun movie and it's just different. I love mixing that found footage element with it. So yeah, it's an enjoyable watch, and I don't think it's too long either of a movie. So highly recommend that one. Any of you guys seen Project Almanac?
No.
Well, there you go. So you get another one.
Tony, add the card.
Tony, get the card out.
Right now.
All right, let's check into the comments because I know the comments are going off tonight. Good thing I bookmarked. All right, so yeah, everybody's saying hello to each other. Let's see, John Joe Gigolo saying anything Borg related story wise is great. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'm like, what is Borg?
Oh, you'll find out. The Borg are nasty.
Oh, okay.
Terrible people.
We got Jacquelina Horror saying hello to everyone. Hello.
What's up?
Got movies with Ryan Safety Not Guaranteed. It's great. I've seen it.
Yeah. Awesome.
We got Cal Al Daily say, hey, look at that panel. Wow, y'all got Plat X2 out of the hiding.
I didn't know I was hiding, but
I had to search, you know, long and far to find him. So.
yeah.
And we got My Killer Podcast in here. Who's also very rad. Yo, what's up? All right, so now we are on to we are on the third already, right? Top three now. That's gonna be interesting to see. So third time movie recommendation here. And yeah, I'll go ahead and take it away here, Steve.
Yeah, so this one's on the poster, so I want to get this out of the way. It's not the big one, but I've loved this since I was a kid. Time Bandits, Terry Gilliam movie. This is technically his second movie. Jabberwocky is technically his first, even though he co-directed Monty Python and the Holy Grail. But this is like the first one where he actually really got it together. And it's got the Time Bandits are little people. They love to just travel from. They've got this big map where they're able to pinpoint places in time. You know, they meet like Napoleon and all these like the Titanic and all these specific points in time. And you know, they're able to they're criminals too. They like to steal from where they are. So yeah, definitely. It has a Kenny Baker, you know, from Star Wars. He played R2D2. He plays one of the little people, and yeah, it's funny and it's action packed. And I've loved it since I was a kid, since I was like 8 years old. So yeah, Time Bandits for sure.
Yeah, lots of fantasy elements in there too, and yeah, it's a wild movie, but really good practical effect work in that as well.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's John Cleese and Sean Connery, Michael Palin for Monty Python, two Monty Python guys, and you know, directed by a Monty Python American, the only American in the group of Monty Python. They're all British except for him. He was from Minnesota, or is from Minnesota, even though he hasn't lived in the U.S. in decades. But he's the American in the group, though. So love his movies.
Yeah, and that's just an awesome pickup from Criterion, because that lenticular slipcover they gave it, woo, so nice. Love the
Yeah, this is the Blu-ray. Some reason I had this on DVD before. It had the slipcover, and then they released the Blu-ray. It doesn't come with a slipcover, and then the 4K has a slipcover with it. So they skipped this one, so we didn't get a slipcover with that one. So yeah.
All right, and then let's go to Garrett. What do we got?
Hello? Anybody home? Hey, think McFly, think.
I'm gonna change it up actually. I'm gonna go comedy on this one. And man, if I know you asked earlier about like what would you do if you ever had to go back in time, or to be like, this is kind of like very similar to what I'd roll with, and that is a Hot Tub Time Machine.
Yeah,
I think this really well done for what it was. I think that it just worked, and to go back and all of a sudden just be like back in your teen years. And, of course, like back for them, it was back in the 80s. And I just think this was just so funny. It was so well done. You know, you got glimpses of like Poison in there and stuff. So definitely recommend this one. This is the first one. And I just had a lot of fun with this. And I feel like it just kind of worked as silly and quirky as it is.
Yep.
Yeah, I still need to see that one. And how is the sequel on it? Is the sequel decent?
It's okay, but I don't think it stands as much as this one. Yeah.
Isn't Zapka in that too?
He is, dude. Zabka's in it. Crispin Glover's in it. Yeah. Yeah. So you got a lot of cool 80s people in here.
All right. Huck, what do we got?
Well, it's funny. I'm going to keep the going. Absolutely love this film. Keanu, baby. Little Bill.
Yeah. There you
go. Speaking of like using time to your favor, you know, these guys jump into the, you know, the Rufus provided telephone booth with the, you know, umbrella on the top, and takes them 3 times so they can get, you know, Socrates and Billy the Kid, and, you know, all these, and Death is in there. I don't know. It was just, it's so fun. And you got Lincoln in there. Party on, dude.
Yeah. Napoleon.
Like that whole scene in the gym, it's like this was their heyday. This is their moment to shine. And it was just hilarious. Even like, and like what's his name? Napoleon, you know, just at the water park. It's so great. And I showed this, you know, some things you try to share with your family and hope that they find it good too. And by cracky, I showed this to my daughter and she thought it was hilarious. So I was very happy about that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love Bogus Journey is great too.
Hell yeah.
The new movie's not so great.
Oh gosh, yeah, that third one. Good thing you didn't show the third one, Huck. Because oh gosh, that was.
Didn't have George Carlin, and he passed away, and he's a legend. He's a big part of the kind of the glue that held those movies together.
What's going on, Rufus? Right. If you guys are us, what number are we thinking of? 69.
I had it on my list too, Huck.
Oh, it's okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's all good. I got reserves.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Looks like everybody had it ready to go. All right. Well, Tony, what do we got?
So my next pick is going to be Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I love this one. There's a race of aliens who has caused havoc, and Tom Cruise keeps getting killed over and over and over again. Live, die, repeat. Live, die, repeat. And so I love what happens in this one as far as them trying to figure out a way for him to survive so that these aliens can be killed. Emily Blunt's really good in this one also. I want to say this may be the first Emily Blunt movie I saw, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if I remember her being in anything prior to this, but just a really good story. I love it. It's almost like Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
But great one. I'd highly recommend this one. The marketing on this one was really confusing because they kept on putting Live, Die, Repeat on the posters.
Yeah.
And it was hard to figure out what the name of the movie was. But at
Yeah.
least on this 4K release, they did a really good job.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's where I was going.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah, I was totally
he got your back.
ranting on that title last night with our Tom Cruise stream because I'm like, Edge of Tomorrow, what is that? It
Right.
sounded like a soap opera, especially with the music
Yeah,
they played
exactly.
with the trailer. I'm like, oh my gosh, this sounds so depressing. I'm like, I don't want to watch it.
It's a fun movie, though. Really good.
Oh,
Really
yeah,
good.
very good. And the 4K is great too. It sounds really, really good. All right, Plaid.
All right. So this film, there's no time travel, but the entire film is about time. And my good friend Stephanie, Movie Chatter, she recommended this movie to me. She said it's amazing, and I always trust all of her recommendations. And this blew me away. And it's 9 days.
Mm.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so the entire film happens over 9 days. And in the film, in those 9 days, the characters are experiencing, they're watching time unfold. And it's at the end of 9 days, there's an opportunity to experience time. So it's a bit of the film's pretty wild, the whole idea of it. It's hard to explain. But I will say at the end of this film, I was completely wrecked. And I walked away from it so grateful that I have time. And so that's kind of the whole point of the film, is that the fact that any of us have time is an unbelievable miracle. It shouldn't have happened. And so anyway, it's a really profound film, and about just the subject of time and how incredible it is that we'd even have any of it. So yeah, 9 days, highly recommend it.
Yeah, I saw that in the theater. It has Bill Skarsgård's in it.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty good. Yeah, it was,
It's a great cast.
yeah. It's kind of art house, almost kind of low budget in some ways, but that's the guy from the Doctor Strange, his assistant Wong, whatever it is, like Wong is in it.
Yeah, Benedict Wong's in there, Tony Hale,
Yeah,
Zazie Beetz, Winston Duke. Yeah, it's a
Winston
good
Duke, yeah.
cast.
Yep.
All right. Well, a perfect follow-up that makes you really appreciate time as well. This movie right here, that a lot of people don't like this one. I don't understand. But Old is an amazing M. Night Shyamalan movie, very thrilling. But I mean, it makes you appreciate time because all these people, they go to a beach where they're just aging rapidly. Wild stuff happens. You know, some of them have medical issues, and you see how that plays out because it's so rapidly sped up. It just gets so terrifying, especially like with the one that has the bone issues and like the bones get cracking and that terrifying like cave scene. Yeah, so definitely an M. Night Shyamalan film. If you like his work, I think this is one of his better movies. Keeps me in suspense the whole time, but also how this movie is filmed, it doesn't get enough credit. The camera angles they use to create isolation on a beach is just outstanding to me. So I really appreciate Old, and I love the art design here. Very, very cool. So yes. Do any of you guys like Old? I feel like I'm always like the only one.
It wasn't my favorite, but it was enjoyable. It was a good one-time watch. And now maybe 5 years from now, I won't remember it and I can watch it again.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the way it is with his films. If you got it figured out, you know, by the end, it's like, okay, that was it. But yeah, it was different.
Yeah, I would say the
thought it was
ending.
alright.
The ending isn't as strong as some of his other movies, but up to the ending, pretty good.
Why is it he seems to have trouble sticking the landing on a lot of his movies?
Yeah.
The ending is just the toughest thing, right?
Like Cabin in the Woods, was that the name? I always get it mixed up.
Oh
Cabin-
gosh, I did not like that one.
Yeah.
Cabin,
Knock at the Cabin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if it would have gone the other way, like it was all faked and all the things were pre-recorded,
They should have done two different endings.
like that was so fast.
Yeah.
They were being duped the whole time. I'm like, that's brilliant. And then it just ended up being
Yeah.
Yeah, so they could have actually filmed two different endings, had two different versions of it, which would have made it really enjoyable to see both.
Yeah, to me, Knock at the Cabin was his first movie that didn't even have a twist. At least I didn't see a twist there. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm like, what is this?
the twist was there, and he chose to not take it.
Yeah, because everybody expects a twist at the end of this movie, so he,
So that was the twist then.
yeah,
He didn't take a
No
twist.
outsmarted himself. Ah.
He's like, aha.
We got Nicholas McMath
Nick?
here. Hi,
Yeah.
how is everyone doing tonight? Doing great. Let's see, Hisham saying Deadpool, young Steve Rogers or old Steve Rogers. These time travel movies are so confusing.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, especially when you get with those superhero movies and the connected universes and then the multiverses. Oh yeah, easily to get lost there.
Mhm.
Hisham is like, what's the worst time travel movie? I mean, Bill and Ted 3 is the one that like pops into my mind right away. But
Yeah.
all right, so now we're on to our second one, right? We went through everybody. So second time movie recommendation here, number 2.
Yep.
All right, Huck, what do we got for runner up?
All right, so kind of playing off of a little bit of what people were saying is so the time in this is a movie everyone knows, but I'm picking it for what time means in the film, and that is Blade Runner.
Yeah.
And I'm picking it is because the replicants, right? The Roy Batty, Pris, Rachel, all these, well, except Rachel, have a 4-year lifespan, and it's what they do in those 4 years that becomes into play into this film. And it's just so heartbreaking. Like at the end, there's that scene. Look, spoilers. This is 1980. But it's like when Rutger Hauer, there's Roy Batty holding that dove, and he's like doing the I've seen things you people wouldn't believe, and he's telling you the story, and he's like, all these moments will be lost like tears and rain, and then dies, right? Time to die. And it's just he chose at that moment to choose life for him, for Harrison, for Deckard. And I don't know, just the fact that life comes into play in that 4-year time span, right? Becomes such an interesting thing. What would you do with 4 years if that's all you have? So yeah, so I'm picking Blade Runner because I figured we were going to lean into time travel a lot, but it's also fun to just deal with just time. So that's why I picked Blade Runner.
And what's your favorite edition of that movie, Huck? Because there's so many different versions.
I mean, it's like this one, I guess, it's the final cut. It's
Final
like
cut.
I never mind the theatrical cut with the horrible voiceover that Harrison, did poorly, because that's the one I grew up on. I'm sort of on the fence whether I like the fact that Ridley's putting in stuff that insinuates he's a replicant, right? So, I don't know. It's like, is he or you're left wondering. I guess it's okay if that's what you want at the end to wonder. It's already one thing to wonder why Rachel's living so long, than to also throw in, is Decker a replicant as well? It seems like a little too much to pack in,
Yeah, I did not grow up with those movies, so I watched them both, fairly recently in the last couple of years. And I actually prefer the sequel. The sequel I loved. It was excellent.
Yeah, it was great.
Okay.
Yeah, some people can't handle that
That's like,
art
no.
house. Yeah, it's kind of artsy, and that's I showed that to a girlfriend once, and she was like, all the hype to that movie is like she was expecting some big action science fiction movie, and it was not the movie that she thought she was going to see.
Yeah, I was hyped up for that first one too. I'm like, oh,
I love it though. I grew up with it, so I love that first one. But yeah, the sequel's good too.
I enjoyed the sequel just to be able to get back to that and see how it plays out. It was a nice reference to the first one.
The only thing I had wrong with the sequel is I saw everything coming.
Yeah,
I knew Ryan Gosling was one. When they said, "Oh, who's the daughter?" Well, there's only one girl that you mentioned the whole movie. It's that. So all the surprises were just laid out. I'm like, of course, yeah. So I was getting frustrated that it was too predictable, even though it looked great. Like it was beautiful to look at, but oh my god, I was actually kind of bored. Sad, but it's because everything was too obvious. You know.
Sometimes we have to do that for a new generation.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't think it was obvious at all. I'm like, ooh, surprise. But all right, Steve, what do we got?
All right, well, so I got another Terry Gilliam movie here. Yeah, definitely 12 Monkeys. Bruce Willis, he has to go back in time to
Nice.
save humanity. You know, it's like it's a dark movie. Brad Pitt's in this; he's really great. And the character of the 12 Monkeys, it's the whole timeline there where there's a deadly virus that's potentially going to destroy humanity, and that's Bruce Willis. His job is to save humanity. So yeah, 12 Monkeys. This is one of some people don't like this movie from Terry Gilliam. This is the Blu-ray version from Arrow I bought like 4 or 5 years ago, but I think it's on 4K now. But 12 Monkeys, Bruce Willis, when Bruce Willis was still action star at the time, and still fairly young, and Terry Gilliam loves to work with American actors, even though he's lived in Europe for several decades, but for some reason he gets all these A-list American actors to work with him, and always has decent box office numbers because he's got those superstars out there. So yeah, 12 Monkeys.
Nice.
Yeah, I've never seen that one, but the trailer looked pretty interesting. But I've heard such divisive things on that one.
Yeah.
So I'm like, should I
dark.
pick it up? Should I not?
Dark movie. Yeah.
All right, Tony.
Okay, so this next one that I'm going to talk about still confuses me a bit because of the time travel, but it is Looper.
Yeah.
And
Bruce Willis.
so there's Looper, another Bruce Willis movie, and another another Emily Blunt movie too.
Yeah.
But Loopers were hired to go back and kill their past self.
Younger self, yeah.
Yep, so that they never exist. And what's unique about this film is the fact that this Looper sent back to kill himself to wipe away that there was ever even a Looper. But it's really confusing. But I love the premise of it. I love the artwork on this, of course. One thing that really took me out of the film was the prosthetic face that they did with him, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, trying to make him look more like Bruce Willis, which didn't really work for me. But it was kind of each time I saw him, it was kind of weird. But really interesting story. Like I said, it still kind of confuses me. But I definitely need to revisit this one. But I do remember enjoying this a lot. And the little boy, I forget exactly how that little boy played into it. You know what I'm talking about? Have y'all seen this?
Oh,
It's been
yeah.
a while. Yeah.
It's been a while, yeah.
It's been a while for me, too.
A good flick, though.
Oh, yeah.
It was, yeah. I remember liking it when I first saw it.
Up on Jogo Lev, it was like sometimes it was really seamless and good, and sometimes it was like, holy hand grenades.
They should have never should have done that.
Was it practical or was it CGI? Did they?
It's practical.
CGI his face? It's practical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Born to be Rad.
All right, this next one, I'm trying to see when this came out. 2000. I don't know. I'm thinking early 2000s, mid 2000s. But this one really, it's still stuck with me. I'm not sure if this has an upgrade. This is just the DVD of it. It could probably have a Blu-ray by this point. But that is Butterfly Effect with Ashton Kutcher, Amy Smart. This just was a real. It hit me hard when this thing came out. I didn't expect it to be as good as it was. Like I really went into it kind of like I thought it was just going to be like something I would have like came and went, but it really stuck with me. And it's pretty disturbing flick where he has to go back in time and like really change the past. And what happens is when like Tony said earlier, when one thing happens and one thing gets changed, it domino affects like the rest of his life. And just going back and forth and seeing like his decisions, what it's doing to his current life is just, it's wild because this takes some dark turns and stuff in here. But I highly recommend you guys checking this out if you have not seen Butterfly Effect. It has been a couple of years since I've seen this. So like I said, I'm not sure if this thing has been updated or upgraded since. So I don't know if you guys know.
It's got a Blu-ray.
It does have a blue.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if that's a movie that's like, everybody kind of enjoys, or if it's one that not many people like. I don't know. I never hear anybody really talk about it that much.
It's a great movie, just how it's done with the premise, but it is a tough movie to watch with some of the subject matter in there.
Right.
I remember, I think I've seen it twice, But that movie is so haunting. I feel like I remember most of the scenes in the movie because they just stick with you. And you're like, oh my goodness. That's a good one. If it came out on like a 4K, I would definitely pick it up. Yeah. All right, Platt.
All right, we'll go back to the Criterion Collection. This is 1937, 92 minutes, and it's Make Way for Tomorrow.
Oh, yes.
So this is a film about an elderly couple, and they're unable to care for themselves anymore, and so their kids step up, but none of their kids can take both, and so they have to divide the parents. And this is there's no time traveling in it, but the film it pretty powerfully makes you confront time itself. And it also gives you kind of compassion and empathy for those who are older than us and near the end of their time. And then it also makes you realize, like, that's my future and that's coming for me. And so it's really great film on compassion, empathy, and just making you confront the reality of time. The time is moving, it's going somewhere, and we don't have this unending supply of it. So really, really powerful film on just the reality of time, that it's moving, it's a gift, and we all are confronted by it. So
yeah.
It's
like my midlife crisis there.
Yeah, great comment here from Caveman Movies and More. Hey, everyone, time is something you will never get back, so I will always be grateful for the friendships that I've made along this journey.
Thank you.
All right, so now on to me, I think, and we're going to go with animation here, right? We got to do a little bit of animation, and of course, a superhero title. So let's go with Flashpoint Paradox, what the live-action Flash movie should have been in terms of story. This is just a great Flash story. It's kind of the go-to Flash story for me. You get all his amazing villains in there with Reverse Flash and his rogues gallery of like Captain Cold and all of that. But you see how much, Barry Allen just wanting to change one thing, saving his mom, how that such impacted time, that kind of butterfly effect idea where it just changed everything so much. You got Thomas Wayne as Batman, the father instead of Bruce Wayne. You got Atlantis at war with the Amazonians with Wonder Woman. And so just so many people are clashing and causing like a World War III in this movie with just one thing changing in time. So such a powerful story. And believe it or not, I think the first time I watched this movie, I did get teary-eyed once you got to like the Flash, changing the timeline with his mom and all that stuff. So even though an animated movie does get pretty emotionally impactful. Now, I will say that the animation isn't that great because it's DC animation, so that's kind of, cheaper budget for them. But the story, if you just focus on the story and character development, really, really good movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wish that was how the live action Flash movie was, but yeah, sadly it was not.
Big movie. I've seen that. It's really, really good.
Oh, so good.
What's the TV show? Did anybody see the TV show for DC when they did the Flashpoint? I thought it was really great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. I love that. That's after that, I never watched any of those WB shows anymore, or CW shows. But that whole timeline thing, the Flashpoint was really great.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Oh yeah, Kale Daly saying CW TV show was good. Yeah, I watched it up to I think somewhere in the 5th season. After the middle of the 5th season, I tapped out. But the first season of the Flash, so good, good. When they focus on the Reverse Flash relation, all that. Ooh.
Yeah, the first couple of seasons was good. It kind of got tired after a while, especially during the pandemic. After the pandemic, they were kind of rushing to get all the storylines in. It was rough to get through.
Yeah. It's like the same thing with Arrow. Like the first 2 seasons of Arrow were so good, and then it started to decline. All right, so now we're on to our first time movie recommendation, and then of course we'll get into honorables too. So even if your favorite wasn't shown yet, audience, stick around. We're definitely going to show a lot more. But yeah, so first time movie recommendation. Huck, what do we got?
All right. So I have several that I want to pick and I feel might get picked, but I'm going to lean into something a little different. And And of course, if you want to cheat and call it the episode 1 was the pilot movie, and we're going to go with a little quantum leap here.
Oh yeah.
TV, because it's a show that I don't know if everyone has seen, but Scott Bakula is absolutely stupendous. Basically, he has to jump back and forth through time, setting right what once went wrong. And his performance, and he'll leap into anything. It could be a woman, a male, a person of color. There's an episode called Jimmy where the kid has Down syndrome. It's just like, and every time he leaps into it, it's like, how can I be this person? And yet you watch his performance. I mean, he was nominated, I want to say, like every season and never won. It's like an actor's dream job to play a character who's playing other characters.
Yeah.
He even sing, he got to dance. It's like it's like everything you love to see an actor do in one show. So I'm going to pick Quantum Leap if you haven't seen it. And the ending is sort of like divisive, bittersweet, but it still lands, and it's such a fantastic show. So if you haven't seen it, there it is, little Mill Creek release of Quantum Leap. Anybody else see Quantum Leap?
Yeah, Scott Bakula. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you had that ready, Garrett, huh?
Yeah.
Look at
Oh,
that.
no way! Get out of here!
Oh.
No way! Gary!
Oh yeah. No, this is a really cool show. I mean, I haven't seen all of it. As a kid, I was watching this quite a bit, but I just recently bought this actually because there was a lot of stuff going around the internet about that episode, Jimmy.
Yes.
And I got nervous that they were going to like get rid of that episode. So I wanted to jump on this because like the way things were going with like French Connection and all this stuff, I was like, all right, I need to get this now before they start making these changes, if it was going to happen, because it was starting to get a lot of backlash online. Someone brought it up and then people started going after it. So this was on sale too. I think on Amazon, it was like 70% off. I think I got it for like $25. I think it said regular, like $79 or something. So it might still be on sale, but I just picked it up probably within the last 2 months. So if you guys might be a good one to get.
Did you see it,
What?
Garrett? Did you watch it?
I've seen that episode. Yeah. So I definitely want to make sure I had it, because it's pretty remarkable. Just the whole thing, like you said, like how he has to go in these different, and that episode right now, like that would never happen now.
Oh yeah,
like, you would never see an episode like that. Yeah.
but they're all done with reality and heart, and it's never. So if he's in, someone like Jimmy, or he's in the body of a black man or a woman, it's never played. I mean, there's situations that can be laughs if he's a woman, because he's dressed in drag, like Sam actually has to put a dress on because people see him as her, so they see him as the blonde woman, so he's got to put on makeup and the dress, and so some of it's hilarious. It's highly entertaining.
Yeah, Dean Stockwell. Yeah.
Dean Stockwell, yeah.
Has anybody checked out the new Quantum Leap show?
No.
It doesn't have the same magic, but it's as its own thing. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that's what led up to the controversy with that episode, because why would people just be starting to talk about that now, right?
I know.
Sure.
It's been a long time.
I agree. I have no idea why all of a sudden that just got brought up. Unless someone maybe watched it and was like, oh, well, let's put this out there. I mean, who knows? But I wanted to make sure to grab it just because, again, I haven't seen the whole series. I saw a lot of it as a kid, and it's probably been, I mean, when did this come out? It had to have been in the early 90s, if not late 80s, right?
Yeah, I want to say like 89 to 94, something like that.
Right.
89 to 93.
So I remember watching this like when I was in elementary school. Like that's how young I was watching this. And then I kind of got out of it a little bit, so I didn't see a lot of the later ones. And I just thought it'd be a cool show to kind of rewatch, and it now. So
yeah, you guys got me hyped to check it out, especially if it can get it at that price. Gary, you said $25.
Sure. I don't know. Did anybody look up what it is on Amazon right now?
It's up to about $60 now.
Oh man,
60.
Yeah.
Still may be worth it though, because it has a lot of seasons, right? That box
5 seasons.
Yeah.
You know what? Check if you guys are looking it up right now, check Best Buy, because I was just at Best Buy today picking something up, and I did see this sitting on the shelf, but I didn't look to see what it cost. So maybe theirs is a little bit cheaper.
Yeah, if you play it, this does drop into that 35 to 30 range a lot. Like I want to say I got mine, Garrett, like at 25. It was ridiculous.
Right.
I just bought it
Yeah.
for $28.99 at Best Buy. Thank you, Garrett.
Oh, nice. I might get
Just
it.
a click of a
then,
button. $28, boom.
And I've never
Fine.
seen the
Yeah,
show
yeah.
at all, but I'll take a chance on it for under $30 for that
Yeah,
many
I mean,
episodes.
it's
And it
Blu-ray and you've got 5 seasons. I mean, that's a good deal.
Yeah, and it has another amazing, iconic theme song from Mike Post. Mike Post is the John Williams of TV. Like he did A-Team and Rockford Files, just so many great stuff. And this Quantum Leap is a beautiful theme song.
Yeah.
All right, Garrett.
Like you said, he played all those characters. He should have won some. He should have won something for that, an Emmy or something.
Absolutely.
All right, Steven.
All right.
Steve,
Well,
what do you got? You got another great deal?
no. Well, I'm going to do one of the two more predictable ones, but I'm not going to do the main one. But I love the Terminator. Obviously, to go back in time to take out the guy that's going to, I guess, stop Skynet. And so the first one, 1980 was 1984. Arnold. It's a very imposing villain. This movie, he's out to kill, I guess kill John Connor and to stop the resistance, basically. And so that's the whole storyline. Big franchise, but I love the first 2 Terminator movies, and not as much the sequels. But James Cameron, this has definitely put him on the map. So that whole time travel thing, stopping the past, killing the past so you can stop the future, but it's in the evil side of it, not the good people, the good guys.
No, I love it. First 2, brilliant.
Yeah.
So good. And they're so different too. The first one's more horror,
Yeah.
second one's like action packed. So it just depends what flavor you're in the mood for, and both are great. A random side note recommendation. If you want to learn more about the effects and the people that worked on the visual effects for Terminator, a good kind of little short documentary is called Jurassic Punk. Have you guys seen that one? I think it's on streaming, either Netflix or Hulu. It talks a little bit about Jurassic Park visual effects. That's why it's called Jurassic Punk. But it also talks about Terminator 2 effects and all of that. So
that's cool. Yeah,
it's pretty interesting to see how they come up with those ideas.
Wait, is it streaming somewhere? You said
it's streaming somewhere. It's either Netflix or Hulu. I watched it on the plane, so when I was going on vacation, so I'm like, hey, let me check this out.
James Cameron only directed the first 2 movies. That's probably why they're the ones I really like, and the other ones, what he produced, the last one, and I didn't like it all that much. Dark Fate, yeah.
Genesis was the worst. So bad.
See, I can watch mostly all of them and get some kind of enjoyment out of them, except for Salvation. That one just bored me to tears as a kid. Just, oh my, I'm like, what? Nothing's happening. I'm like, they're in the desert or something. I don't know what's going on.
I love the ending to part 3, but
part 3 had potential. Part 3 had potential there. I see where they were going, but all right.
Without James Cameron, he's the writer. He's the guy that created the franchise. Without him, it's not really the same. Because he's a genius writer. Avatar's not the greatest writing, but great visuals.
All right, Tony, what do we got?
My number 1 recommendation is from 1986, directed by Francis Ford Coppola, starring Kathleen Turner, Nicolas Cage, has Helen Hunt and Jim Carrey in it. Peggy Sue Got Married. I remember seeing this in the theater back when it came out. Really enjoyed this one. So this lady's marriage is falling apart. Her life's in shambles. She goes to her 25th high school reunion and kind of faints, passes out, and she's going, and she wakes up back in her high school years. And she things happen to her when she revisits her past to help her with the future. She becomes homecoming queen and all these different things. It's almost like It's a Wonderful Life, kind of, where you want to see what your life's going to be like if you do things differently. So really enjoyable. Have y'all seen this one?
Yeah,
I saw that one recently.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. Yep, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it.
I've never seen it.
Oh, you haven't? Oh, you
Mm-mm.
100% need to see this one.
Hmm.
I think
Yeah,
you would
that's
like it,
okay.
Garrett. Seriously.
Amazon cart, you're saying? Amazon
Yes,
cart?
Amazon card.
Yeah.
Open
It's
it
a
up.
romantic comedy, Francis Ford Coppola. I mean, you can't beat it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool, man. I will.
Yeah, I've been hoping to find that and put it on in my collection as well. I enjoyed it when it came out. It's probably been since that
Yeah.
then. Oh,
Right, it's been a while. Yep. I want to say it may be out of print. I don't know.
that's what
It's
I'm wondering.
$199.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god!
Well,
It's definitely on. If it's still on streaming, you can check it out there. That's where I saw it.
I'm checking Best
probably
Buy.
a year
That's it.
or so ago.
Yeah, Best Buy, Gary. You got the hookup.
I think
But
it
if
was
anybody's
on-
interested in it, I'm selling
on
it for
HBO.
$198.
What a deal.
yeah, definitely check it out on streaming
That's
at
funny.
that price. But
Oh.
yeah, I think it was it Max I watched it on about a year ago. But yeah, I've only seen it the one time on streaming. It's good though.
It is.
Not
Yeah,
$200 good, but it's good.
Yeah.
No, it's $200 good.
Every penny.
That's funny. All right. I'm going to bring this. Okay. All right. 1992, Army of Darkness.
Oh yeah.
Got Mr. Bruce Campbell, aka Ash, traveling to the medieval times, and just super fun movie. I mean, it's taking that Evil Dead charm and bringing it to a new stage basically. And I'm sure everybody in here has seen this. It's pretty well loved, it seems like, but obviously it's a bit different than the first two. So I don't know if everybody likes this style a little bit better, but I think it just still works, and I just think he does a great job. So I had to add this one in just because it is a favorite of mine.
Yeah. That's the first one I saw. I had never seen Evil Dead or Evil Dead 2 when I saw that movie, and my friends had all seen those, and they thought this movie's like comedy. They were like, they loved seeing Bruce Campbell, and they were like, they really liked it, but it's like, this is not a horror movie. So yeah,
Sure, yeah, it was way different. I actually I didn't see this till later, but I remember seeing this image in like wrestling magazines, like in 1992, a lot, and I was like, "What is this poster? What is this?" And then I saw Evil Dead 1 and 2, like growing up in my teen years, and then when I found out there was a third one with a different title, and I remember renting it, I'm like, "Hey, there's that movie I used to see in the wrestling magazine articles or whatever."
Yeah,
But I
definitely.
fell in love with it.
Definitely different than the first two, right?
yeah. They wanted to call it Evil Dead 3, but the studio Universal didn't allow them to use that title. They wanted more mainstream kind of title. But didn't I hear something about there's going to be another movie based on the alternate ending to that movie?
Really?
I don't know if that's true or not, or if that's just rumor or not. But I don't know. Bruce Campbell's not going to do those movies anymore. He's 63, 64 years old. He's not going to do action anymore. But I'm not sure if that's true. I'd have to look it up again to see if there's any truth to it.
That would be cool though.
Yeah, the tone of Army of Darkness felt like it feels more like Beastmaster or Death Stalker. It's got that kind of like low budget B movie vibe to it, different than the horror ones.
Sure, yeah.
Comedy action, yeah.
Yeah, it kind of took me out of it too. I really wasn't a big fan of it.
Oh, really? See, it's my favorite out of the classic ones. I love the fantasy adventure elements.
I like the
with
horror
skeletons and everything.
Yeah.
Bring on the horror.
Yeah.
And then, Garrett, did you have a favorite cut of that movie? Because there's like 3 or 4 different versions.
Yeah.
One.
I always kind of liked the theatrical cut. I kind of liked the S-Mart ending. Like I always kind of enjoyed that, and I just felt like it just seemed a little bit more, him going back into the real world. I like that one the best, but yeah, I mean, if they're ever going to do a sequel off that director's cut ending, I'm trying to think, is the international and the director's cut the same ending, right?
Yeah,
I think one of them just has. Isn't it just a longer scene? Isn't that
it might be a little bit
travel
longer
scene
of him
is
in
a little
there,
bit longer? Like yeah. I feel like that was it. Something.
Yeah, but I think I would probably stick with theatrical personally.
Yeah, I like the theatrical one too.
Yeah.
All right, Plaid.
Well, the last one I had, I just realized all of these picks I've had are super serious and kind of downers. So I'm going to go with something a little more lighthearted. This is from 1938. It's something everyone has seen, but there's a lot of time travel in it. And it is A Christmas Carol.
Oh, yeah.
And there have been countless remakes. You got the Muppets. Everybody's done a remake of this one. But I love it. And it does make you think about life and the gift of it. And it goes, what do you have? In reverse, you've got the present and you've got the future. So It's one of my favorites. I have a number of different editions of this film, but it's a little more light. We'll do Christmas in July instead of another heavy film. So anyway.
Yeah, that's my favorite. That's my favorite version of it. Right.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, that's my favorite one of them.
It's so great.
So, Plaid, it was so just coincidental you chose that one because I got a perfect follow-up. My favorite holiday movie of all time. I know some people choose Home Alone, some people choose Christmas Vacation, but I'm telling you, this is a holiday movie go-to with Collateral Beauty, which is basically a modern telling of A Christmas Carol. And if you have not seen this movie, I can't recommend it enough. It's one of my top favorites of all time. It makes me emotionally cry, just cry like a baby the whole time. But basically, Will Smith's character, something tragic happens, and he gets visited by 3 different kind of themes or messages, you could say. But one of them is time. So that's why I had to throw this one out. He gets visited by time, and he's supposed to learn, not to waste time, the importance of time, and the scene where time confronts him. Oh, if you don't start crying during that scene, I don't know what to say, but highly underrated movie. Like I said, my favorite holiday movie. You say Home Alone or Collateral Beauty, I would take Collateral Beauty. So yeah, but I know
Dude, I've never even heard of that. Never even heard of it.
Must watch.
Wow.
I gotta recommend it. Nobody talks about it, but
yeah,
I mean, it has a terrible Rotten Tomato score, so that could be it. But
yeah, and I bought it because I was on a live stream with Mike, and he kept talking about it.
Did you like it, Tony, or was it?
I watched it. It is well worth the watch. I had never heard of it either, but it was really good.
I just looked it up. It is. You're right, Mike. It's 13% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I know.
But I'm
So
looking it up.
nobody talks about it, but I'm telling you, if you're like an emotional drama, it'll get you. It'll get you for sure. All right, so let's go ahead and look at some of these comments, and then we'll get back to the going over our honorable mentions here. Let's see, we got Caveman Moving the More saying Superman broke the time barrier to save Lois.
Yes.
Kal-El Daily is shouting out season 5 of Arrow, saying that's on par with season 1 and 2.
Okay.
Craig is saying good series, Huck. See, I got to get that Quantum Leap series now.
Yep. Thanks.
Let's see. La Brea has time travel in the past. Kal-El Daily says Quantum Leap got it for $10 from Walmart. Laugh out loud, cool pickup. Didn't he do Enterprises as well?
That was Blu-ray. That's a great deal.
Oh yeah, that was Blu-ray. Oh my goodness.
It's probably the DVDs that had the little sleeves that they went in. There was no packaging.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Caveman saying Predestination is a great Ethan Hawke, Sarah Schnook time travel movie. I haven't heard of that one. Let's see. Frank says joining late and watching from the beginning. Tony's recommendation of Frailty is a fantastic pick. Such an amazing movie.
Probably Frequency.
Oh, there you go. I'm like,
Frailty is excellent too, though.
Frailty is a great movie. Yeah.
There you go. Double feature right there. Kal-El Daily says, what's the issue of the episode? Oh, that Quantum Leap episode?
Yeah.
Oh. I have no idea. I've never seen it.
Oh, what's the issue? Is it's the one where he becomes a kid with Down syndrome.
Yeah. And it's so good. It's so good. And it was so popular. The character it comes back in another episode.
Kal-El Daily says y'all watch Quantum Leap. We had a show called The Pretender where he was a different guy every week. So good.
Yep. You can't get that on. They never did complete that series on DVD because of the music. They could never get the music rights for all the songs that were played during that series.
That's really crushed a lot of shows coming out.
It has.
Like, especially, think about how many needle drops were in Happy Days, the TV show. I mean, so many songs of that time. I don't know if that was removed from a lot of the things, but
they never did complete the series for Happy Days. We only got there's 5 or 6.
It's 6. It's 1 6.
Yeah.
And that's it. Yeah.
So we got all of Laverne and Shirley.
Yeah.
And so what's the issues with the music there? They just don't want to pay it? Is it really that expensive, or are they like being more cheap about it? Or have prices gone up?
Very expensive. Yeah. And then if they change I'm sorry, didn't interrupt.
Oh no, go
If
for
they
it.
change the music like they did with Dawson's Creek, people didn't want to buy it because it doesn't have the original songs in it.
And the Quantum Leap supposedly had that issue as well. I haven't looked at the episode, but there's one where he goes back and he's dancing with Al's wife. I'm sure, like Steven, you probably know that. And it's like I forget the song in it, but it's so perfect. And I heard it was removed the first time around with DVDs, but I heard it's back to normal. So I hope it is, because if that one's back in, I would surmise that a lot of the other ones are back in.
Yeah. Music. It's like on YouTube, people try to use music. Like people, they try to get you for that money. The music producers that hit you hard on those.
Yeah, I've even heard of like wild stuff happening on YouTube where it's like they'll say, "Oh, you can use this music for free," and then they come back to you months later and like, "Now you got to pay for it.
Because you're monetized. On you. They don't take that money from you.
Yeah, that's wild. Callow Daily says Terminator 1, top 10 movie of all time. I stand on it. That's a good one. Yeah,
great pick.
Cal is saying, "Where is Time Cop? Van Damme fans stand up." I'm sure someone will mention it in the honorables. Let's see. Cal says, "Brad coming with all the smoke with that pick. Laugh out loud. Army in my top 10 horror movies." It's a good one. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Cal is saying Huck Army is like Clash of the Titans, but good.
What's that?
I like the theatrical ending. So many classic lines. Yeah, hail to the king, baby. Yeah, you can't beat that. Movie chatter in the house tonight. First time I'm seeing you on the channel here. Well, thank you for being here. Welcome. Yeah, Collateral Beauty, very misunderstood. Love it. Collateral Beauty is so good, so good. I don't know how it flew under the radar, but I'm glad I watched it. I don't remember the first time I watched it either, but I did pick up the Blu-ray. It was at Walgreens for $5. I'm like, yep, I'll pick that up. Let's see. Craig says Time Machine 1959 and 90s version is good. And isn't there a 2001, or is that a different movie? The Time Machine. Maybe that's a different one. All right, so let's get to our honorable mentions here, because I know there's so many time movies. We haven't even began to mentioning, some popular ones out there too. So Huck, what do you got?
Well, let's make the audience with some Time Cop.
Yeah, delivered
just in time with Time Cop.
Yeah, it was just on the outside, and I'm just gonna plow through these. Another TV show I love. He goes forward in time 1,000 years, and that is Futurama, baby. An excellent animated show. If you haven't seen it, from the makers of The Simpsons. I like it actually better than The Simpsons. So good. People have mentioned this, Superman the movie, because of the great time spin. And all right, you know what? And I just watched this for the first time literally yesterday, and that's Interstellar.
Oh yes.
Wow, what a freaking, the whole thing when they're on that planet, that area, and for every hour it's 7 years back on Earth, and the longer they stay, the older people get. It's heartbreaking, man. Talk about your time travel situation.
Right.
But yeah, the first time I'd seen it, it was super good.
Nice. Yeah, I totally forgot about Interstellar. I'm like, that is such a good one. But that's a long one. You got to definitely plan a day around that one.
Almost on the list there.
All right, Steve, what do you got?
Well, I've just got 3 here. I'm going to save the other 3 for someone else if they want to take it. But this one's really dark. It's probably not for everybody, but it's Donnie Darko. Lovely. It's kind of is he mentally ill? Is it alternate timelines? It's the only Richard Kelly movie I really like. the other ones I didn't. Southland Tales and The Box, I didn't like those all that much. But his debut movie, he did it right on this, and it's that Jake Gyllenhaal. Definitely. I've got X-Men: Days of Future Past. Love the X-Men go back.
I love those.
Yeah, go back to 1973, the year I was born, and they're there to try to save the X-Men. The good guys and bad guys are all in danger of dying. And then I'd say this a funny one here that a lot of people probably have not seen a Mike Judge movie called Idiocracy.
Oh yeah.
It's starring Luke Wilson. I looked this up today. This never been released on Blu-ray. Apparently, I guess there's a reason for that. But Mike Judge, Luke Wilson, Maya Rudolph, Dax Shepard. It's just Justin Long's in it. But he goes to the year 2505, and he finds out he's now the smartest man on earth, or the smartest person on earth. And it's funny. Mike Judge. That's it. I'll save the other ones for anybody who wants to take them. 3 big ones.
Yep. Same thing.
All right, Tony, what you got?
I've got Pleasantville. We got Tobey Maguire. He is addicted to a 50s sitcom type show, and him and his sister get thrown back in time. He gets to see what it was really like back then, and she gets to make people understand what it's like to be in the 90s. So it's a really fun movie. And then we have Synchronic. These 2 guys here are paramedics. I think there's some kind of drug involved that causes them to lose time. It's very, very interesting storyline. Is another one that I didn't fully comprehend, but well worth a watch. And the last one is a TV show, The Umbrella Academy. I love the time travel that they do in this series. This little man right here goes back and forth through time. And I don't want to talk about the show because I don't want anybody to be spoiled, but excellent show. Season 1 and season 2 were both great. Highly recommend you check this one out. I believe it's on Amazon Prime, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I didn't even know that came to physical media, so I might
Yeah, they're both on Blu-ray.
Nice. Have they only done 2 seasons so far?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
I
Yeah.
bet you Black Friday will probably get some good deals on those.
Season 1 came with a slip. Season 2 did not come with a slip.
Uh-oh.
Those that are slip conscious.
I like that phrase. Slip conscious. That's awesome.
I'm slip conscious.
All right. Born to be Rad.
Surprisingly, everybody named. I have like one honorable mention left. So I mean, Bill and Ted's was named, Terminator was named, Quantum Leap was named, and X-Men: Days of Future Past. I thought I was going out on a limb on that one. I was like, oh, no one's gonna say this. And it's like my favorite X-Men movie. And I'm not really much of a superhero guy as far as a lot of the movies, but I loved that series, that second trilogy or whatever there. I loved it a lot. And I think that was just so well done, and just a great movie. Now, obviously, I had Back to the Future, the original one, in here. I assume that was going to get talked about. And then the only other one that I have is it's not really time travel, but it has to do with somebody who is in a new time, right? And that is Encino Man. Love this movie so much, but he's obviously a caveman. He was trapped in time and now showed up in the 90s. So love this movie. You could also say something like Demolition Man, I guess, could fit in a very similar tone, but such a cool movie if you guys haven't seen it, from 1993, I think, or 92. But yeah, Encino Man's one that I just loved growing up.
It's got an Oscar winner on the cover.
Oh, baby. Brendan Fraser. Yeah.
Brendan Fraser's from Indianapolis. So,
Oh, that's cool, man. That's awesome.
And it has the other Oscar winner in there, right? From this year for supporting actor?
Oh, yeah. From the Goonies there. Yeah. That's right. He is in this. He's part of the computer club or something.
Yeah, that's wild that they won their Oscars at the same time. And they, were in that movie.
That many
I
years
still
later.
haven't seen the movie, but now I'm interested just because of that.
Right, that's true.
All right, Plaid.
All right. I definitely did not bring Bill and Ted Face the Music. That would have been stupid. So I didn't bring that one. Groundhog Day. This is just classic.
Yeah, there you go.
Caught in a time loop. So had to bring that one. Another Criterion, Curious Case of Benjamin Button, where Brad Pitt's character experiences time in reverse from everybody else. So that's a pretty powerful film. And then this one blew me away, but I can't explain it. And I just was floored, is Tenet. Where time is happening forward motion and not in forward motion at the same time. And they're all experiencing time at the same time, but it's not going in the same direction. And I absolutely love this film. So anyway, those are my other 3.
See, what we got to do is go back in time and change that Benjamin Button to a proper looking Criterion case.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, because you look at it initially and you would never think Criterion. You're like, what? What is this?
Oh, it's getting a blue case. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Bill and Ted. I saw it. Face the Music. I saw it in the theater. It was one of those that I think AMC and Regal wouldn't show it because they were going on streaming, I think. Mm-hmm. So I saw it at like some kind of small movie theater. I had it on Blu-ray. I don't own it now, but it doesn't have the magic that those first two movies had. But if you're a completionist, you have to have it. I totally get it.
And my problem with that movie too is I don't know who the other actor is, the friend, the name, but I felt like the acting chops were not there in that movie. Like
he's a director now, I think. Now,
is he really?
Alex Winter, yeah.
He's in the Lost Boys. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to confess, I've actually never seen the first two.
The first two.
Yeah.
Gotta see.
Very good. Yeah.
Huck, were you saying something?
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you see the very last shot of that movie where it had like just like 100 like people like doing, facing the music? Did you see the end shot? Like 1,000 clips. I'm actually one of those clips.
Oh, you are.
Oh, you could submit it to the movie. I thought, oh, this is not for real. And then that shot when they put them all in there, I had to freeze frame it, walk up to my giant TV, and see if I was in there. And I'm right near the top. I'm like, hey,
that's awesome.
See, now I need to get my copy signed by you, Huck. Now I know. We've been ranting on the movie all night. Now you tell us. I mean,
there you go.
This is gonna be awkward asking for an autograph now.
Groundhog Day, though. That was the one I was saving, hoping somebody would grab it.
Yep, I saved that one for where I wanted it. Yeah.
All right, so I think I have about 9 or 8 of them here, so I'll try to fly through.
Wow, geez, buddy.
There's a lot of time movies out there. Don't worry, I'll do it quick. But About Time, if you like romantic comedies, this one, it's a fun one. But yeah, this one I got from Dollar Tree, and it came with the slipcover, so there you go. Yeah, sometimes Dollar Tree got those gems right there.
Yeah.
What else do I got? Oh, this is actually a really good one. If you like John Hughes movies, it's written by John Hughes, Just Visiting, and it's a Kino Lorber title. So it's fun. It's like a fish out of water story with these medieval characters in modern times. So very fun. Let's see what else we got. Adjustment Bureau definitely has a focus with time on predestined time, I guess you could say, and changing the timeline in your path. So definitely a sci-fi movie. I really love that deals with time. Let's see. I think this one counts as time, right? Universal Soldier, because they wake up in a different time. So very fun action movie. You got Ivan Drago in there. So yeah.
I'd like to go by Dolph.
And then oh yeah, you guys did mention the Terminator movie, so we'll move those. And then I know people mentioned Star Trek Kelvin Timeline in the comment, so we'll move past that. Yeah, you guys mentioned Groundhog, but the Steelbook is great. Let's see. Got to go fantasy here with Harry Potter. Harry Potter 3 has time travel in it, so there you go.
Oh, yeah.
Harry Potterhead. Let's see. Oh, Interstellar was mentioned. Oh, I guess I did grab Interstellar. There was that. And then, of course, your superhero titles. You got to have Avengers Endgame, all about time travel. So,
yep.
Got to undo what Thanos did right there. And then I thought this one counted too, No Way Home, because them bringing in the villains, changed the timelines, right? Because they're supposed to die in the other Spider-Man universes and all that. So I thought that counted enough. So wanted to shout that one too. But there we go. I got through them. That didn't take too long, right?
No, not at all.
And well.
Yeah, but that's why I thought, like, as I looked at my shelves, I'm like, wait, yeah, that deals with time. That deals with time. Like, there's so many time movies. I didn't realize at first. I'm like, what 5 am I going to come up with? Because I didn't think I would have that much. But then looking, I'm like, wow, now it's just tough to narrow down to the 5.
Yeah.
All right, we'll check through the comments one more time, and then I'll let everybody kind of promote to the audience whatever they would like and kind of close out a little bit. Let's see. We got, let's see, Caveman saying, oh, this is a great one. I need this in the collection. So Blast from the Past is one of my favorite Brendan Fraser movies. That actually is probably my favorite Brendan Fraser movie. Very underrated. Very fun movie. I need that one in the collection. Let's see. Callow Daily says, "Yeah, Huck, Time Cop, let's go!" And Superman Huck wins the stream. There you go.
That's right.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know it's a contest.
Nice. Craig says, "Minority Report." Ooh, that was mentioned on the Tom Cruise stream last night.
Yeah.
Let's see. So did anyone pick Turtles in Time? It deserves some light.
No.
Oh, this is one I forgot about.
I know that. I saw that too. That's pretty good.
That's a good one. Yeah. And the sequel definitely does a lot with time too. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, very good choices. All right, so yeah, we'll have everybody kind of say what they want to the audience. So Huck, what do we got going on? I know we got some big stuff coming up.
Well, first of all, thanks for having us on, man. I love, anything with time and sci-fi is always good. And I like the different interpretations with time tonight as well. Very nice. Yeah, you guys know me, Huck's Pop Culture Cafe. Tuesday morning, you'll do my morning mug where we just sit and talk about news and new releases and good stuff like that, just to get your day going before you head out and buy new movies. And coming up next week is going to be a home dinger, y'all. All week, Collectors Club coming up tonight. Collectors Club. Monday night, it's a trivia contest that's all sci-fi themed. A morning mug with hopefully some guests. So, hey, if any of you guys want to join me, it's all open. And then Thursday, well, I'm sure Mike will take it away from there. But yeah, it's going to be a huge week. I'm exhausted already just thinking about it.
I know.
Hope you'll have some air conditioning by then.
I know, right? Oh, wait, you'll be really sweating, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Steve, what do we got going on?
Yeah, everybody. Really, really great to meet John and Garrett and Tony. I've talked to Tony for a number of at least a couple years now, and great to meet. I already knew Huck and Mike. Yeah, great to see all the people in the chat tonight. That was really great comments in there. I've been reading all the comments as we've been watching the video. For some reason, I never joined the chat because I've never logged in. So, I'm on it. My channel is Excelsior Movie Reviews. I also have one that's Excelsior Music Reviews as well. And I would not recommend starting two channels. Don't do that. You need to focus on one channel and try to do that. But yeah, it's fun to do stuff on YouTube. I do a lot of Criterion hauls, a lot of like live streams, and love talking just movies in general. So thanks everybody. I appreciate it.
It's a fun night.
Yeah.
Tony.
Yep. So Tony, Basement Blues. I love collecting physical media. This right here was definitely a fun topic. I really enjoy time travel movies, and I love getting recommendations and ideas from other people. So that was great. I do a video on my channel every day. I've been doing the YouTube channel for a little over 11 years now, but for the past a little bit over a year, I've been doing one video every single day. So plenty of content to watch on my channel. I'm wore out. I'm about dead, but it's a lot of fun. And yeah, you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and on Twitter. But yeah, thanks for having me, Mike.
See, Tony, you know how to manage the time well because you're able to do so much. It's like
it's true. He does.
That's off to you for sure.
You're a machine.
It's that rigid schedule. I wanted to mention something to Steve really quick because he brought up Idiocracy, and I saw something online today actually about that movie where they did an interview with, I think, the designer, like one of the costume designers, and they were trying to figure out like stupid things they could have people wear, and she found like a small company, and she's like, "Oh, let's use these shoes." And then I think the creator, you said it was, who did it? Was it Mike Judge?
Mike Judge, yeah.
And he was like, "Well, what happens if this company becomes big?" She's like, "Nobody's gonna buy these stupid shoes or whatever." So they're like, "Oh yeah, use them." Well, I guess it ended up being Crocs, and
yeah.
So now they're like a big thing, and it was like they were made because they wanted people to look so stupid in the future because they became dumb or whatever. So I just thought it was kind of a fun little nod because after you said it, I was like, "Oh, that's so funny! I just saw that." But yeah, I thought that was funny. But I'm Garrett at Born to Be Rad, and again, Steve and Platt, it was nice to meet you. I've never streamed with you guys before, so awesome stuff. And I did like what Huck said, is I think we're all very different in the dynamic of like what we brought to the table. So I really appreciate that too. I think it really worked out well. And you can find me over at Born to Be Rad, and I'm on all social media platforms: TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, obviously. I've got a podcast called the Rat Pack Podcast. We are on all audio platforms, and we also have a YouTube channel as well. And as far as my channel, I do movie reviews, physical media stuff. I talk about anything nostalgia, collectibles. I'm actually thinking about the stream got over early, so I might actually go live in a little bit on my channel because I got a lot of content I need to try to get done. I'm going to be doing another thing called Anchor Bay Archives episode 2, which will be come out this week, where I take old Anchor Bay like horror box sets and all cool editions and I showcase them, almost kind of a relic in time at this point. And tomorrow night I'm doing a live stream with the guys at Dead Pit. We're going to be talking about Vestron Year 2. We're going to have Michael Slipcase Felcher, who works on those Vestron titles, on the show with us. So hopefully we can get some inside info and maybe some upcoming releases and stuff, but that remains to be seen. So that's what you can find on my channel.
And Plaid,
All right,
we
Mike,
got something going on soon, right?
I was going to say, man, coming up on the channel, actually Mike's going to be on the channel soon. So I'm very much looking forward to that. Thanks, Mike, for having me on. It's great to meet you, and Garrett and Steve as well. So awesome to meet you guys. Yeah, we've recently on the channel thrown up a bunch of Criterion content to go along with the sale, but Mike will be on within the week. So yeah, you can look forward to that. I'm on YouTube and Instagram. And yeah, thanks so much, Mike, for having me on.
Yep, and thank you guys for being here tonight. Everybody's channel links are in the description below, including Justin wasn't able to be here tonight. You know, something came up, and yeah, his links are in the description below too, so definitely go ahead and visit everybody there. Click the links, hit that subscribe, notification bells. Everybody posts an amazing set of content on here, and such variety within the content too, so you got to go to everybody to really get the full physical media spectrum and a collectability spectrum out there. So yeah, but yeah, for my channel, definitely a lot going on here. Once again, we'll be on Plaid's channel tomorrow, so definitely subscribe there and turn that notification bell. Well, we're doing the recording tomorrow, but it'll come out you said in the week or so. But yeah, you definitely want to stay tuned for that. And then yeah, you guys know videos every day for my channel. To talk a little bit about the past here. Today I posted an out of theater reaction video for The Sound of Freedom. A lot of people, well, I guess some people are talking about the movie, but not as much as Barbenheimer. But I was so impressed with the movie. I highly recommend. It's a low budget movie that doesn't feel super low budget. It's filmed really well. It is a tough watch due to the subject matter there. So be warned of that. Look at the details before you go see it. But I was, once again, very impressed with the movie, and it got me emotional. It got me crying. So definitely check out the reaction. You can see Amazing Anna react to it as well, which is always fun. And then the stream we did last night was the Tom Cruise stream. The Tom Cruise stream was a lot of fun. So if you missed out on that one, go ahead and watch the replay, especially if you're a big Tom Cruise fan. We covered his entire filmography. So that was a whole lot of fun. Yep. We got tons of movies there. And then Huck, I know, was already mentioning the big week coming up here, a full week of Collectors Club. So on Wednesday will be our top 3 Christopher Nolan movies each, because we got 4 Collectors Club members. We're going to cover his entire filmography, basically in celebration of the Oppenheimer release. And then Thursday, we got the movie poster tournament on Derek's channel, because, movie posters don't get as much love out there. So definitely got to see those. That's going to be a fun one. And then Friday, we got movie recommendations on Tim's channel, kind of a round robin, where we recommend movies out to different Collectors Club members and kind of give our thoughts and reviews on them. And then Saturday will be the recap show on my channel. We're just going to be kicking back, relaxing, saying our favorite memories from the week and all that fun stuff. But yeah, that's definitely going to be a giant week. And you'll still get all the rest of the content from me as usual. Mega Movie Numbers comes out tomorrow, where we talk about all the different top sales and physical media of the past week. That's always great. I do that weekly. And then, of course, a movie news morning show on Sunday. But in between that, more out of theater reactions for like Haunted Mansion, the new A24 film, Talk to Me. And then once again, getting to the week of live shows with all the Collectors Club stuff. And then, of course, Amazon deals again and all that great typical Mega Mike content. So yeah, definitely want to stay tuned for all of that. And I know that was a whole bunch. So audience members who stuck through all of that, thank you so much. Thanks again for being here. Thanks again for all the comments, the questions, the interactivity. thank you so much. I mean, without you guys, we don't have a channel here. So thank you for being fans and being a part of this and just having a good time talking all these time movies with us. And once again, just to second what everybody else said, just seeing everybody's variety of choices tonight, getting some awesome recommendations that, you know, I haven't heard of some of these. Now I got some movies to watch, was just a blast. So thank you all once again, and have a great night out there, everybody. Go watch some time movies.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, Mike.